Okay, well this is part 2 of the 3-part video. Bakersfield Model Yacht Club Soling 50 Fleet Championships.
20 seconds.
Alright, we've got about 15 seconds for the start of race number 6.
Seconds.
Wind's still a little on the light side.
10, 9, 8,
Again,
7,
the boats want to be at the far end of the
5,
line.
4, 3,
I'm getting my boat around onto starboard.
1.
Wind's light still. Gotten the boat around
How'd you do that?
fairly well. Wind's gotten very light again. I'm just trying to get a little bit of speed. I've got bad air from the boat that's up to weather of me.
That'll do it. Good drugs. Good drugs.
Actually, that wind has shifted around. It's kind of back from our right quarter, our starboard quarter. It's up and down a little bit. And we're headed toward the weather mark. If this wind holds, we don't have to tack to get to the mark. There's a quick look up there to see where that weather mark is. I'd like to establish a leeward overlap for the two boats that are in front of me. If I could do that, I could claim inside room at the weather mark. I'm not sure if that's going to happen. We'll have to watch this play out. Wind's still pretty much on the light side. You can see the wind direction, by the way. See those ripples? That wind's coming 90 degrees to those ripples. So that's a it's a reach. Okay, I'm on the leeward. I've got a leeward overlap now. So that's good tactically. Still got to get to the weather mark. Wind's gone light again. And you can see that water. See how that glassed off that water is. You get some ripples that are still coming across the lake. Those are not driven by the wind in our area. Boats are all pretty much standing up. They're moving a little bit, not very much.
Yeah, I thought that was a Lido. But
The good news is I have clear air.
The
The question is, am I going to lay the mark?
I haven't seen them so many years.
They're chubby. They haven't lost any weight, believe me.
Taught us to pick something out.
Yes, I do
No, you're
lay
just
the
looking
weather
at
mark.
at the moment.
Now I'm going to jibe around.
What?
And jibing around, I mean, you're changing direction 180 degrees, so you're going to lose a lot of momentum in doing that, but you just have to get around the mark. And of course, I'm in all the disturbed air that from myself and all the rest of the boats that have come through.
I feel it behind me, but on my boat, it's from the other side, from the right.
Yeah, I'm making a comment on the shore that
There it is.
I
There's a
feel
nice
wind on the
pop-up.
back of my neck
My
while I'm
sails are
looking
too
at my
tight,
boat, so that
put it
means
down
the
a little
wind's
bit.
going to come from behind us.
Don't want to let
But
you
right now the
go.
wind's coming from the far side of the pond. So I'm kind of thinking maybe that wind's going to come from a new direction.
You're giving me a sketch.
Again, this is slow sailing. It's kind of painful, but this is where patience pays off. Trying to be observant, see where the wind's going to be coming from, is going to pay dividends.
Night unless Ron hit her at least 2 or 3 times.
If I hit her, I gotta hit the mark.
Hey, this boat goes better without plastic bags.
Okay, well this is painfully slow, but this is how the racing's going to go. I did get the weather mark in good shape. Clear air is one of the keys to doing that. You're not going to go fast if you're in dirty or disturbed air or sailing in somebody else's lee. So let's go on to race number 7 now. Okay, this is about 10 seconds until race number 7 start. Wind's filled in fairly well here. Everybody's maneuvering to be at the far end, coming in on starboard, of course.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right. Well, I have allowed a couple of boats to get above me and give me bad air, which has very much hindered my start. I did not have good speed, although I have clear air now. You can see I've lost 5, 6, 7 boat lengths behind the other boats. So that's not good. Again, these are one-lap races, so you don't have a lot of chances to make this up.
Oh, Ron got a grip on that one. You got the grip.
You can see the lead boats are in fairly good air. The wind is shifting back and forth. We are tacking, of course, getting to the weather mark. This is just trying to figure out what side of the course to be on. I was hoping the wind was going to shift back to the right, favoring starboard tack. So I decided I wanted to go out a little further out in the lake, get out there. If the shift came in, I'd be headed, and then just tack over onto starboard. I went out there as far as I thought I could risk without getting myself too far out of the race, and now I'm coming in on starboard. Again, the air is a little on the light side. Most people are leaving their sails out just a little bit. You want boat speed, not pointing. Not going to point in this kind of bouncy hobby horsing water in this light air. So I'm close to not the leader, but a couple of boats.
Oh, Stan, hold the board! I was holding it. I'm trying to get around it. No, if you were just
What you're hearing in the background is the result of not having an offset mark. That the boats going downwind are going right into the boats that are coming upwind. Port and starboards are going to happen. And we're headed downwind, reasonably good air, but basically this is just a parade at this point. So we're going to break off, and we're going to head to race number 8. Okay, we'll have race number 8 starting here in about 10 seconds. Painfully slow. Wind's gone light again.
8, 7,
No, you're quick. He was going wrong.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All clear. Very
Now,
clear.
I've made a bad mistake by not being up on the line. I just got too far away from the line, and in light air, you just cannot do that. As the wind filled in, now you're seeing boats that just went off the screen to the left on port tack. They're headed off. I finally got my boat going, and now I'm starting to move a little bit. Looks like the wind's getting light for the leaders.
What happened
can
out
only
there,
hope.
Ron? There's no wind out there.
Actually, I'm on starboard right now,
You
the
doing
red
360?
boat again.
No, he's
The
tapped
boats
that.
in the lead were just basically standing up in a hole.
We did tap. I assume that you were on starboard. On the windshield.
Yeah, I've let my main and my jib out. I think you can see that in the video. I'm just trying to get the boat moving. Get the boat moving. Not point. Get the boat moving. After it's moving a little bit, you can try to point some, but the first thing to do is get the boat moving. And I'm doing okay. Yep, there we go. The collapsed. They got a little bit of a header, still on starboard, but basically the wind shifted direction. Now I have not tacked into a very good position here on port tack. I'm getting some bad air from the boats ahead of me. They are now getting headed, and they're going to be falling off. You see their jibs caving in. But as we go down further, I'm still very much in their bad air. Again, my position is due largely to the fact I was
doing
not
fine,
at the
Judy.
start.
Don't let him intimidate you.
Due to the fact that I was not at the start line, not on the start line, and didn't have any way. Now you're not going to have a lot of way on in the light air, but you've got to be up at the
Really high. You
the
can't
start
do too
line,
high.
on the start line, at least even with everybody else. Just making up ground in light air like this is very, very difficult to do. I'm pinching up to try to get around the mark. I don't know that that's a real smart thing to do, but it's what I am doing. Jibed over, and you can see the boats ahead of me have moved out fairly well, and the lead boats another 8 or so boat lengths in front of them. So this is again a parade at this point. So the damage is done by my not having a good start. Okay, moving on to race number 9. All right, well, no big surprise. The wind's essentially non-existent. 10 seconds till the start.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5,
I've got a little bit of wind at the far end.
2, 1.
I had some way on,
I'm not on your
and
right.
I'm holding on to port.
Not me.
Boat's moving a little bit, not a lot. And now I'm going to go over onto starboard. Again, at this point, just trying to keep the boat moving. The wind shifting around. If I get a big header, I'm probably going to tack. If it's a small header, I'm going to try not to maneuver the boat too much, lose any speed.
Maybe your radio is a Futaba.
So I've got clear air, the boat's moving along fairly well, water's looks pretty glassy, so I'm not doing a lot of hobby horsing.
Now I'm a nautic.
At this point, I'm just
Actually, now
trying to
whoever has
sail the
the
boat
best radio.
fast. Stay between the competition and the mark.
That might not have been the right thing to do. Well, we'll see, I guess.
See if I can cross this guy. Oh, I did, and I just did.
Whoa!
So I'm just
Starboard, ladies.
trying to work the boat up. Here we go. Tack to get around the mark. Again, jibe around. I've got clear air. Get the boat moving, head downwind. That's what I'm trying to do at this point.
It almost worked.
Now, I think I'm going to make a big mistake right here. I did. I was not watching boats coming up.
Well, that's my fault. I'm on port.
Yep.
Sorry.
Clearly
I'll do a
my fault.
360.
Was not looking ahead. Was trying to make the boat go fast, not
You
looking
made Christmas.
around the boat
How
to
did
see
I
what the
not do
traffic
that?
was. If you don't have an offset mark, you're going to have situations like that. So just a
As I can figure out where the wind's at,
a
I'll
bad
do
mistake on my part. So I'm going to do my 360 here. It's going to be pretty costly because I was in the lead up until that point. But these are the lessons. These are the lessons learned. This is why I record these videos and look at them afterwards. Is to find some of the more bonehead moves. Okay, well, we've got a parade going again, and we'll break off and head on to race number 10. Okay, wind's filled in fairly well.
15 seconds.
That's a reasonably fair start line. About 10 seconds until the start.
7,
I'm on port.
5,
Excuse me. I'm on starboard, working down.
3, 2, 1.
And what I wanted to do is that the wind had shifted out of the to the left, and I wanted to try to get to the left. And of course, starboard, I had starboard right away on the port tack boats that were working up the line. There, I'm trying to trip over something, I'm sure. Wind shifted. I'm trying to tack with the shifts. Lost a reasonable amount of speed in that tack. And if you watch the boats, you see that they really didn't change direction, but the jib starts flapping. That's a wind shift. Now I've decided I was going to fall down a little bit and just stay on starboard tack and then tack over. So now I'm tacking over. I wanted to have clear air, but in doing that I've given up quite a bit of distance, which I'm not going to gain back. Plus I'm going into the mark on port, so anybody that's jibed around,
Thank you. Got it?
anybody that's jibed around onto starboard is
No
going to have
problem.
right away on me.
I think the wind
So,
changed just fine. Too.
Not a good tactical move on my part. And the wind's gotten a little bit light, and I'm just getting around the weather mark. And again, this is kind of a parade at this point, and I'm the fourth boat back, so it's difficult. it's difficult to try to make up any ground in situations like this. The issue, the question, the objective is not how you catch up when you're back like this, is how do you not get back there in the first place. So again, getting a good start, and I thought I had a reasonably good start. That's just not always going to work out for you. But there were some shifts that some of the lead boats got that I didn't take advantage of soon enough. They got out clean air. They were moving in better air than I was. They had better speed. They got ahead of me, and that's the story. Okay, we're going to break off and head off to race number 11 now.